everybody, it's Maddie here. Today we'll be teaching you how to crochet this simple coaster. This coaster kind of looks like a flower to me, but also could be like a sun, but it's a pretty basic coaster because you can use this all year round. It's not themed to anything specific, and it's just a good basic coaster to have. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial, so if you're new to crocheting, this is a good project to start with because you'll be left with a usable crochet project at the end. This project only uses double crochets and chains, so there's not going to be too many stitches that you'll need to learn to make this, which also makes it super easy. Alright, let's begin crocheting. The type of yarn I'm going to be using today is going to be a medium weight acrylic yarn, but you can also make this coaster with a medium weight cotton yarn as well, and that will give you a more sturdy coaster. But I love using acrylic, and I haven't had any issues with the acrylic as a coaster, so that's what I'm going to be using today. This one I made with the acrylic yarn, and then this one I made with the cotton yarn. But feel free to use whatever you want for this project. And then along with that medium weight yarn, I'm going to be using a 5mm sized crochet hook. To begin making our coaster, we're going to start off by making a magic ring, and to do this we're going to take that tail end of our yarn and we're going to hold that in our left hand like this, and then with our right hand that's connected to our long strand of yarn, we're going to take that and we're going to wrap it around two of our fingers like this. We're going to twist our hand and we're going to make an X on top of our two fingers like this with the yarn, and then I'm just going to hold this with my pinky. Go ahead and grab your crochet hook. We're going to place it underneath this first loop, and we're going to grab this long strand here with our hook. And you're going to go ahead and pull that all the way out. Twist your crochet hook up, and now you should have one loop on your crochet hook. From here, we're going to yarn over with that long strand again, and we're going to pull this strand of yarn through this loop we have on our hook. So we're going to pull that all the way through. And then, once you take that off your fingers, you will have made a magic ring. Now, I know making a magic ring can be quite difficult, especially if you're a beginner, so if you are having a more difficult time, I do have a more detailed tutorial on how to make it, which I'll link in the description if you want to check that out. But make sure to be patient because it is a little bit difficult. After you make your magic ring, we're now going to go ahead and chain 3. And to make a chain, we're going to take our hook, we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull the strand of yarn through the loop we have in our hook. So we're just going to pull that all the way through. So there's one chain. Let's go ahead and make another chain. Just yarn over, and then pull that through your loop. So pull it all the way through. And then there's 2. Let's make one more chain, yarn over, and pull through. Just like that. And now you have made your 3 chains. After you chain 3, we're now going to make 19 double crochets into our magic ring, which I'll show you how to do. To make our first double crochet, we're going to take our hook, we're going to go ahead and yarn over, and then we're going to place our hook through our magic ring, which I'm holding in place. And then we're going to yarn over again, and then we're going to pull our hook and that yarn out of our magic ring. So we pull up another loop. So then at this point you should have 3 loops on your hook. From here, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through 2 of the loops. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops to finish our double crochet. Let's go ahead and make another double crochet. So we're going to take our hook, yarn over, insert our hook through the magic ring, yarn over, and we're going to pull our hook in that yarn out of the magic ring to pull up another loop. So now we have 3 loops in our hook. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops, 1 and 2, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops to finish off the double crochet. And now, as you can see, we have our 3 chains and 2 double crochets. Let's go ahead and make another double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook through our magic ring, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So you should have 3 loops in your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. We're going to continue making these double crochets till we have a total of 19 of them. So let's go ahead and make another double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook through the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 double crochets. I'm going to go ahead and continue making these double crochets in our magic ring till we have a total of 19 of them. Alright, I just finished making all 19 of our double crochets. At this point, we can now go ahead and tighten our magic ring, and to do that, you'll just take that tail end of our yarn and holding this in place, when you pull on that, it will tighten up your magic ring. So just pull on that till it's nice and tight. And as you can see, it now tightened up the magic ring. Now to finish off this first round, we're going to make a slip stitch into the top chain that we made at the very beginning. So the top of those 3 chains, which is going to be this chain here, we're going to make our slip stitch. And to do that, we're just going to take our hook, place it through that top chain, yarn over, and pull out a loop. So you should have 2 loops in your hook. And then from here, we're going to place this loop in through here. So pull it all the way through. And then to tighten our slip stitch, we'll just pull our hook all the way up. And then just pull it back down to make sure everything's nice and tight. And now we've completed the first round. To begin round 2, we're going to start off by making 3 chains. And again, to make a chain, all you're going to do is just yarn over and pull through. So there's 1, 2, and 3. After the 3 chains, we're going to make a double crochet into this next stitch. So this is the chain that we had made our slip stitch into, and then this is our first double crochet stitch. This is where we're going to put our double crochet. And again, to make a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook through that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, just like that. From here, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. So we're just going to yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. And now we're going to make 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So going into this next stitch, we'll make our first double crochet, just like that. And then in the next stitch, we'll put another double crochet. After you complete the 2 double crochets in those next 2 stitches, we're now going to go ahead and chain 2. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. There's 1 and 2. After your 2 chains, we're going to go ahead and make another 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So starting in this next stitch, we'll make our first double crochet. There's 1, and then moving on to the next stitch, we'll make another double crochet. And then from here, we're going to chain 2 again. So just yarn over and pull through. So there's 1 and 2. And now, as you can see, we have 2 stitches, 2 chains, 2 stitches, 2 chains, 2 stitches, and then another 2 chains. And we're going to be repeating this all the way around. So after these last 2 chains, we're going to make 2 more double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Starting in the first stitch, we'll make our first double crochet. Oops. There's 1, and then 2. I'm going to go ahead and continue repeating this pattern until we make it all the way around, making 2 double crochets in the 2 stitches, and then chaining 2 more double crochets in the next 2 stitches, and repeating that all the way around. So we just finished the 2 double crochets in the 2 stitches. We'll go ahead and chain 2. Alright, I just finished making it all the way around, and I just completed the 2 double crochets. And before we join this row together, make sure to go ahead and make 2 chains. So 1 and 2. We're going to join this round just like we previously did in the last round, where we just make a slip stitch into this top of the 3 chains here, which is going to be this chain right here. We're going to make our slip stitch. So we're going to go ahead and take our hook, place it through that top chain. We're going to yarn over, pull our hook out of the chain, and then we're going to place this loop in through here to make our slip stitch. And then again, to tighten that, we'll just pull our hook all the way up, and then just pull that back down. And now we're ready to begin row 3. We're going to start off round 3 with 3 chains. So we're just going to take our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through. There's 1, 2, and 3. After you make our 3 chains, we're going to work 2 double crochets into this chain 2 space right here, which is that first chain 2 space from where our 3 chains is, right in there. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over, insert our hook through that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So there's our first double crochet. Let's make 1 more double crochet in that same space. So now we have 2. From here, we're going to chain 2. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. 1, 2, and then we're going to put 2 more double crochets into this same chain 2 space. So right in here, we're going to go ahead and put 2 more double crochets. So there's 1 more. Let's go ahead and make our second, just like that. So now, as you can see, we chained 3, made 2 double crochets into this space, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. And now we're going to move on to this next chain 2 space, and we're going to do the same thing that we did here. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2. Go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and then we'll put 2 more double crochets into that same space. There's 1 and 2. And at this point, you should have something that looks like this. And this is what we're going to be repeating all the way around in each of the chain 2 spaces here. So moving on to this next chain space, we're going to go ahead and put our 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2. Go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and then 2 more double crochets in that same space. There's 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and continue this till I make it all the way around, making 2 double crochets in our chain space, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets, just like we've been doing. Alright, I made it almost all the way around. I just have this last chain 2 space, and in this one we're going to do it slightly different. So we're going to make our 2 double crochets as normal and then chain 2, but instead of making 2 more double crochets, we're just going to make 1, and I will show you how to do that. So starting with our first 2 double crochets, there's 1 and 2. From here, go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're just going to put 1 more double crochet into this space. Just like that. And now, to finish off this third round, we're going to make a slip stitch into the top of that third chain here. This is where we're going to put our slip stitch. So we're going to go ahead and take our hook, place it through the top of that third chain, like this, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we're going to put this loop in through here to make our slip stitch, and then go ahead and tighten that. And now we're ready to begin the 4th and final round. We're going to start off round 4 by making 3 chains. We're going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through. So there's 1, 2, and 3. After you make your 3 chains, we're now going to make a slip stitch into the first chain 2 space, which is right here. So we're going to go ahead and take our hook, place it through that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up loop, and then we're going to put this loop in through here to make our slip stitch. And then go ahead and tighten. Now we're at the point which we are going to make these little rounded edges of our coaster, and this will be made with 6 double crochets. We're going to make those 6 double crochets into this space right here, in between the last double crochets and the first double crochets of those last like clustered things that we made, if that makes sense. So here's where we slip stitched. Right in here is where we're going to put those 6 double crochets. So not in the we're not going to be working into any of the 2. We're not going to be working any double crochets into those chain 2 spaces, but in between the 2 clusters of double crochets. So let's go ahead and make our first double crochet into this space here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you should have something that looks like this. From here, we're going to make a slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So we're going to take our hook, place it in that chain space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and make our slip stitch. And now we're ready to begin making this next curve on our coaster in between these 2 clusters of double crochets right here. And in that space, we're going to make 6 double crochets. So let's go ahead and start off with our first double crochet. There's 1, and 6 double crochets. From here, we're going to make our slip stitch into our chain space, and we'll begin making our next curve on our coaster. So let's go ahead and make our slip stitch in that chain space. And now we're ready to begin making our next curve with the 6 double crochets in between those 2 clusters of double crochets. And there's our 6 double crochets. Again, don't forget to make your slip stitch in between that chain 2 space. And now, as you can see, we've made 3 curves on our coaster. I'm going to go ahead and continue repeating this till we make it all the way around, and you should have a total of 10 of these little curves. I'm going to go ahead and finish making these curves all the way around, but I will show you how to do that last curve because we have the 3 chains that we made at the very beginning. So I'll show you how to do that one, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, I just finished making it almost all the way around. We just have one more space to make another one of our little flower curve things. And I just completed my slip stitch in that chain 2 space. And now, as you can see, here we have those 3 chains and then our 2 double crochet clusters, which we will put our next 6 double crochets into. Now, instead of making 6 double crochets, we're just going to make 5 and then we will finish off this round. So let's go ahead and make 5 double crochets in that next and last space in between our double crochets. So there's 2, 3, and 5. After you make those 5 double crochets, we're now just going to make a slip stitch into that top chain that we made at the very beginning of this round, which is going to be right in there. That's going to be our top chain. So we're going to go ahead and insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and make our slip stitch. Make sure that's nice and tight. And now, as you can see, we have completed our coaster. All we need to do now is trim and fasten off our yarn. I like to leave a little bit of a tail just so sewing in the ends is a bit easier later. So you go ahead and trim your yarn. And then to fasten this off, just pull your hook all the way out till the tail comes out and pull on that to make sure everything's nice and tight. And then grabbing my yarn needle, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the tails and thread that through my needle like this. And we can now go ahead and hide that tail. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my needle and place it through a few of these stitches here. I like to place it through the bottom of some of the double crochets just because it's tighter and your ends will stay in a bit better if you do that. And I like to weave it through quite a few times because the last thing you want is your tail to come undone. Then you have to fix that later, so that's not very fun. But once I weave it through quite a few of the stitches, I then take my needle, place it back through some of the other stitches, and I will just weave that back through like that. And then once you sew that in pretty good, go ahead and take your scissors and trim the rest of that yarn. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for this other tail, and then you can see the final coasters. And ta-da! Now you have a cute, adorable, simple crochet coaster. I really love this project because coasters are one of my favorite things to make, and I haven't made a new coaster in a while, so these are going to be my new coasters that I'm going to be using every day. The lily pad coaster is what I was using before I made this one, and I also really loved this one for a while. I still love it, by the way. I also have some other crochet coasters that I've made, but these are all kind of seasonal, so it's nice to have one that kind of goes with all different seasons, because flower one is definitely for spring and summer, and then I think chickens are just a fall animal, so this is more of a fall coaster or even winter. And then of course the sunflower is definitely a fall coaster. The lily pad one I think you could use all year round, but this one is definitely a good coaster to have. Coasters are also a really good gift idea because who doesn't need coasters? Everyone can use them, which is awesome, especially since Christmas is coming up soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a like and let me know down below if you have any questions or anything because I love answering them. I will answer every single comment, most of them. I try my best. And also let me know down below what color you decide to make your coasters. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!